What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. And today I'm gonna speak a little bit more about Negan. Yeah, I mean, who's surprised? Fantastic character, I love him. And I get the question all the time on stream, how strong is Negan exactly? And first off, it's a little bit early to tell, he's only been out for what, 3 days? A lot of people are like, oh, he's S tier, he's overpowered, and no, he's not. You know, when a new character is released, it's so easy to overhype them and think that, oh, this string is completely crazy. Oh, it's because you're unfamiliar, you don't have defense muscle memory, you eat it every time. And I gotta say, having played him a little bit now, I'm very impressed, he's a lot of fun, but I don't think he's very strong. I think Negan is probably gonna end up somewhere around mid-tier. And like Miguel, a lot of people like to compare him to Miguel due to his brawler fighting style. They are a little bit similar in that. They're both very tall, they have some reach. Miguel, you often hear he has T-Rex arms, but he really doesn't. He has pretty good range. Negan has range because he has a bat. That does add a little bit of range to your attacks. But I'm gonna start by saying overall that what he excels at is rushdown, pitbull. You know, he has a lot of good pokes. He has a lot of good strings. But yeah, it's like after that, I think his punishment is pretty good as well. 1, 2, 4 is a good 10 frame. 1 plus 2 is a great 13 frame punish. I mean, 38 damage, great range. The punishment is good. I mean, while standing 2 has got pretty good range, you know. 13 frame while standing is pretty good. Down for 2 is a good 15 frame launcher, it's got pretty good range. His whiff punishment, you know, sidestep 2 is good. But other than that, I'm really struggling to find the stuff that he does well. So I would say poking, rushdown, punishment, those aspects of a character are pretty good. His mix-up potential is pretty good as well. Intimidation stance is pretty scary. You have an unblockable high throw, and the mids are good from that stance. They are. Intimidation stance down for 2 is a little bit like Miguel Savage down for 2. But it lacks the range. I mean, this dude uses a bat, but it's almost like Miguel has better range with his fucking fist than Miguel has with his, than Negan has with his bat. But it does have pushback on block, like Miguel's Savage, down for 2. But, so those are the strengths, and now here comes the weaknesses. Most of Negan's moves have no tracking at all. Like, all of these key mids, God, I gotta start by saying that the key mids, a bit like Armor King, they are a bit sluggish. You don't have amazing frames on his mids, I think. He often loses his momentum, you know, like down 2. He has good counter-hit launchers and counter-hit attacks, but you always lose your momentum when they're blocked, I feel. And they are all extremely linear. It's very easy to step. So you have back 1, 2, which is actually good on block. It's plus 4 on block. That's good, but it's super steppable. So I find it's kind of hard to keep your momentum with Pitbull Negan when people step Negan. And this is obviously a design decision on Bandai Namco. Because he doesn't even have good homing moves to shut that shit down. I think his best homing move is back 2 alone. It's fast, it's got good range, it's pretty good. He does have back 2 on extension, which is -11, so you take a risk, but on counter hit, of course, massive damage, but it is minus 11. And it's high, it's not mid, the initial hit. You can do back 2 free, which is safe on block. The whole thing is safe on block, but it's not a natural combo. If first hit connects, it doesn't guarantee the second hit. Down back 1+2 is a homing move. Of course, it launches on counter hit. But again, like the hitbox is not the best. It's high. Doesn't have that much range. I'm not blown away by his homing moves. And again, this is an obvious design decision on the character. And all of these mids, you know, like upward 4, back 1+2, down 2, all of these key mids, up forward 4, back 4, all of this is extremely steppable. Yeah, Negan has problems there. And while he has really good counter hit launchers, he struggles a bit with, you know, standing launchers Tekken characters often have is a safe down for 2. And maybe a hop kick. Negan doesn't even have a hop kick. Upward 4 here doesn't crush lows at all. So when people rush you with lows, you have upward 3, which is super slow, doesn't do anything special even on counter hit. But here in comes intimidation stance, which I'm sure you've heard by now. Automatically low parries lows for a launch. I'm not. Look at my no hands. No hands. It's like Anna's stance. It automatically. Just automatically low parries, jumps over and launches lows for huge damage. And it's a very interesting property, and I think this is something people are gonna experiment a lot with in the future, and we'll probably see some cool setups for that. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out there that he has a lot of flaws. So again, you lose momentum rather easily. His standing launchers he's very unsafe. If people learn how to handle these strings, they are very punishable. 1, 2, 4, all the hits are high. Downward 3, 1, duck the second hit so you don't have to take the options. Downward 4, 2 transitions into intimidation stance. He has very few transitions into this stance. And this is mid-high. You can mix it up with downward 4-3, which is mid-mid and safe, but it's not a natural combo. And again, the second hit, if that's blocked, you lose your momentum. And with a momentum-driven character, oppressive character like Negan, it's very bad to lose your momentum. But overall, I think the homing problems are the biggest problems with the character. And he's very punishable. Downward 2 is minus 14. Intimidation downward 2 is minus 20. While standing 2 is launch punishable. He has a very interesting power crush in forward 1+2. That's a launching power crush. Good shit, but again, like it's minus 15. Maybe it would be broken to have at minus 14, but I just don't feel the character is that strong. And it's a good novelty, but if you spam this, you're gonna get destroyed. But if you are very smart in your placing of this, it's a great keep out tool. Oh, he's gonna rush me. He gets launched. And keep out, I think he does pretty well. The home run swing, sidestep 2, that is a good launcher. It is safe on block, but it is high. Oh, and I want to get out there that his sidestep is incredibly strong. He has a very big sidestep. That combined with sidestep 2 is rather deadly and good. And it's got great range. As you can see, look at this range. that's a good keep out launcher. So that keep out combined with this power crush, it's pretty good. And down for 2 has pretty okay, oh god, pretty okay range. So hopefully now you know what he does good and what he does less good. It's worth mentioning this low poke, down back 4. +3 on normal hit, on counter hit. They are in a very bad position, and you get a lot of mix-up opportunities after that. They have to actually hold forward to block after that. If they don't hold forward, you have a guaranteed downward 1-2. That's guaranteed unless they hold forward. And yeah, most people's natural gut reaction is to hold back to block. So this can stress people out a lot. Murder Stomp is +5 on hit, really good. On counter hit, 1-4 is guaranteed. That's pretty good, but the range on Murder Stomp is kind of bad. I mean, I honestly feel like I've covered now most of the stuff you want to hear about Negan. So overall, I can't say he's a top tier character. I know you're overwhelmed by him right now because you don't know how to handle him, but I feel his strings are not as spammable and as versatile as Dragunov's. And you'd say they can't be because he has good low pokes, but his mids are kind of sluggish. And the one that does give him momentum, as it's +4 on block, is extremely steppable. And that's bad considering most of his tools are very linear and steppable. And again, counter hit launchers are good. Like upward 4. But they are, again, kind of sluggish. Not upward 4, but that has no tracking whatsoever. You can step it easily both sides. Yeah, bad homing moves in my opinion. Back 2 is the best of the bunch. I didn't mention down back 2, might as well do that. Launch punishable, unfortunately. Shit range, absolute shit range. It's so easy to whiff this move. And it is quite reactable, it's not that fast. You easily see him raise his bat. That's not a good low to use. It doesn't guarantee anything, you just get a mix-up here. It's not completely useless, but it's extremely unsafe. I don't know why you would do that when you can do down back 4, which is great. 4-2-3 is pretty interesting. Good low. Again, it's also +4 on hit. And it's evasive. You should experiment with this, it's pretty good. I like doing down back 4 into 4-3-2. It's actually pretty good. And back 1-2 is a good string. It will very often counter hit on the second hit, because people are so unused to it. And the first hit looks like a down forward 1. So it's a good tool. Also hurts the character a lot. Negan's Rage Drive is probably the worst Rage Drive in the game. It has some utility in combos, but what we use Rage Drives for, we want that neutral, super fast and hard hitting mid that gives us +7. And this gives plus frames, but look at the bad range. Look at the shit range, and it's so slow to activate. You know, when I'm in rage with Negan versus a Brian who's in rage, or a Feng who's in rage, a Leo who's in rage, a Dragunov who's in rage, insert almost a Paul who's in rage. You're not gonna risk doing this, because they will have a faster, longer rage drive, which is gonna fucking destroy. It's always gonna beat you out. So other than some use in combos, it's just a terrible rage drive. And it really hurts Negan. Having a good rage drive is crucial in Tekken 7, and this just hurts the character. But of course he has the most satisfying fucking rage art in the game, which that alone single-handedly makes you want to pick up the character. It does last forever, but look at this shit. Feels good, sounds good. Of course, stuff like this.
Good. Sounds good.
I play Negan just for that, his character. But hopefully you've learned a bit about the character. It's still very early to tell, but so does some things well, does some things not very well at all. So my guess is he's gonna end up somewhere along mid-tier, but do have fun with the character and yeah, represent the saviors online. So over and out from Main Man, hope you have a nice day.